I want to pick up a thing you just said though, James, right? It's about match. I would argue that the majority of the recruitment market is disenfranchised in match because match has been absolute garbage for the last 20 years. And there's all the financial reasons in the world for job boards primarily to keep match bad, right? Right, when you make more money by charging for clicks that go nowhere or that the person paying for them never sees the end result really disincentivizes you to fix match, which is what I think everyone's talking about. But let me throw something else into this conversation. Prior to COVID, I remember hearing the words persona in recruitment and recruitment marketing a lot. And I have not heard about a persona in quite a few years. I was sort of, you're talking, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, wow, I haven't heard about a persona in a while. But isn't that really where we need to go back to? Do we need to root back into having personas for our employee or our ideal employees? Be careful with all of our um
Yeah.
legal and diversity challenges that come along with that. But do we need to start to really root into, like, for example, we're an organization that only hires remotely. What does that mean, right? What kind of people do we want to hire and who want to work for us? So it's a two-way street, right? It's not one or the other. And do we need to build around that? Sorry, that was not on our like pre-discussed conversation, but as you've noticed, half of these questions aren't. So
Yeah. Well, first off, the reason personas died is because they made no sense. Because in any world where you say, I have two people, they have similar kind of upbringings, they have similar kind of salaries, they live in similar kind of places, they live in the same countries, they were born in the same year, you'd say, okay, they're in a similar kind of cohort, except I'm talking about Ozzy Osbourne and King Charles. So any
yeah.
place in which those two human beings can be put together in the same, no, it's broken. It's all dead. However, what I find really fascinating is we can go super deep on, if you want to call them personas and just, say it's in a different kind of persona, I'm down for it. But right now, I'm very much kind of involved in generating synthetic profiles to say, how do we understand how people look for jobs? How do we understand how we can look different to them? How do we understand how do we reach those specific audiences exactly? Because if to the ICP conversation happening in the chat, which thank goodness we had it, and which I think, AI has done wonders in surfacing that term for a lot of people. It's not about how do I get 100 applications. It's how do I get the two perfect candidates to show up, which means I have to know what perfect looks like. I have to know what great looks like. I have to be able to describe that. And I have to know what great people want from me because it's not what everybody wants. It's what they want. And it really completely narrows the aperture on what we're putting out there and what we want to be saying and how we think about it so that the job posting that looks and sounds the same so that every job board can use it and every job board can show it so that the maximum number of eyeballs can get it. That's not the goal anymore. It should be, I want 5 people to see this job. One of them applies and the other one says, I know who's perfect for you. And they share it to their friend who is that other perfect person. That's to me is the ideal, what a job should be, which means we need to speak more specifically to those audiences and not trying to whitewash things and slap a bunch of awards and say nice things and we're a great company and all the other wonderful things we do to kind of just rose-colored glasses our jobs.